So welcome to our November update, and this is a quick update on the softwares that we are using in the team and our clients are using, and I hope you find it useful. So a quick update on what we're going to go through. We're going to look at our key apps, so our Xero, QuickBooks, Sage and FreeAgent, and then we're going to look at some other app news, so our other apps that feed into those softwares. We're then going to look at triggers around approvals. So if you've not got an approval app, what you might be looking out for to know that you need one. And then I'm going to talk to you about our new service offering, which is our virtual finance office. Okay, so looking at the Xero updates in the last few months, one of the biggest feature releases has been analytics powered by Sift, which is allowing us to add external data. So looking at stuff outside of our accounting platform, it might be coming in from your ERP or something like that. It can be non-financial data, so some examples might be for e-com clients, number of orders, stuff like that. So they can all now be dragged into Sift for reporting purposes. One of the big announcements that Xero made on their roadshow was looking at the AI insights, which is also powered by Sift. And that allows us to kind of be at the forefront of looking at our client data, and you'll also be able to look at your own data in Sift to give those AI insights on how the business is performing. One of the big feature updates that is coming in days, they've started to roll it out now, is the auto reconciliation feature, which is powered by Jax, which is Xero's AI bot. Just ask Xero or just done Xero, which is what they're changing it to. And what that will do is basically auto reconcile high certainty items. So looking at your bank reconciliation and seeing what items have historically been posted where. It will be able to look at invoices and make assumptions on what that's paying. And if there's a high certainty, then that will auto reconcile. So we're going to be testing that and rolling that out to clients as and when that comes through. All items will be able to be reviewed and edited if needed, but essentially what normally goes green, but on the high confidence scale will get auto reconciled. They're also working on their inventory product within Xero. It's quite a limited inventory product that's in Xero, so they're looking at rolling out some updates on the back of a purchase a few years ago. So they're looking at bulk adjustments as the first step, and the plan is for Xero to focus on this area over the coming months. So lots to look at there. If they manage to improve that, that would be brilliant. So some other smaller updates. If you are a client that sells on Etsy, there now is a direct integration with Xero, so that allows you to sync your payouts, fees, refunds, taxes into Xero with the right sales tax mapping. Historically, we've used other apps to help with this, and it's looking like they're working on this and the possibility that that will be rolled out to other platforms. We've also now got purchase orders have been updated and now in the new view. So if you remember, the old Xero got updated a few months ago, and that is now in the new style purchase order. And they're working on the transition of all the pages to the new view that did start with sales. There is also enhanced Stripe payments, so the Stripe integration with Xero, so there's the ability for customers now to pay multiple non-surcharging invoices in a single payment from their online statement that is sent from Xero. If you are building reports in Xero, you'll know that having a percentage margin in there, you almost had to be a scientist to work out how to do it, but they have now put in a percentage formula. So just something, a little update, but something that a lot of people will use. The mobile app is continuing to develop. You can now add bills in the mobile app. So if you're not using a software like Dext, then you'll be able to use the mobile app to upload this information. It works very similarly, so you can upload a photo and it extracts the key information, rather than needing to type the bill detail in. There is also a new software called Someday that Xero have partnered with, and you can get 12 months free. And this is a tool that is allowing us to look at our carbon calculations, so looking at our sustainability and seeing how we are performing from a carbon perspective. So yeah, lots going on in the Xero update, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more to come in the next month or so.
Few of the updates to QuickBooks Online. So a big focus of theirs has been a platform change. So they're rolling out a new user interface with the aim to reduce clicking, which is much needed with QuickBooks Online. Another thing that they brought in is AI on their bank reconciliations. So the bank rec tool is a little bit smarter. It'll give you smarter suggestions for where to reconcile things. They've also brought in new apps for eBay and Amazon. So these aren't sort of apps in the way apps work with Xero. These are more just like direct integrations within QuickBooks. Many of the announcements that they suggested in their previous quarter are now in full release. So these include fixed asset depreciation, auto filing for payroll submissions, and there's a PayPal connector, and also you can verify your CIS subcontractors within QuickBooks as well now. Moving on to Sage news. So Sage 50 is now available in the cloud, whereas previously it's always been a very desktop-based package. It's now available in the cloud. They've also released a finance agent. So they've released multiple AI agents recently, including like accounts payable. So now they've added a finance agent to that suite. So this is going to sort of help you find reports and bring back responses to any queries that you might have relating to the finance system. They've also got an MTD agent, so this is making tax digital. This is available for anyone using Sage. It can create your quarterly making tax digital reports from the data automatically, and it can chase information in as well if you're missing any information. Sage Intact, which is their slightly bigger product for bigger businesses, that's also got line level matching now on purchase orders, so you can match them to specific lines on the POs. And then in other Sage news, Sage X3, which is their enterprise level ERP tool, that's now powered by AI as well. Moving on to FreeAgent, just a couple of small releases. It's quite a quiet period for them. I think a big focus of theirs has previously been on the Making Tax Digital compliance. So they've just got now you can have recurring journal profiles on the FreeAgent software, and they've also enhanced some of their smart capture features as well.
In other app news, so our non-finance software, we've got quite a few updates just to quickly run through. So Fathom, which is a reporting tool, they've got a release to their forecasting ability. So now we're able to lock a forecast at any point in time and then compare later. So something that they've been needing for a couple of years, and the ability to do up to 25 snapshots, which is great when we're looking at different situations. Adfin, they've brought in a AI controller, so this is an automatic AI credit control, very similar to Chaser, and they are basically saying that you can do an end-to-end automated credit control. The Monzo have released a new MTD tool, which is powered by Sage. So there's going to be a lot of this coming from the banks in the next few months. Apron, which is a payment platform, they've now added get paid links, which means they're expanding into the debtor area. So not just sending money now, it's receiving money to. And it's free for bank to bank, but charges with card payments. Join, which is bringing in Excel links in for tailoring reporting and bringing where we've got lots of different reports coming from different softwares. We use that software to consolidate, but basically they're now bringing in links, which allows us to add non-financials into the reporting space. Excel, if you are a Microsoft 365 user, they now have an agent mode. So it's using Copilot to build your reports and analyze any data in Excel. We've been looking at that internally, and it's quite powerful. Dext have added WhatsApp for sending invoices. So if people are serial WhatsApp users, then this is for you. So being able to upload your invoices from your WhatsApp. There's a lot of that going on in the space at the minute. A couple of other updates. So Socket is now integrated with Zapier to enable more flexibility and automation. Briefcase has released statement reconciliation into their products, very similar to Dex supplier statement feature. Telaroo has made an integration with Iris Payroll, which is allowing them to have end-to-end payments. And Access have been looking at putting a Evo, they've called it, which is basically an AI agent, and that allows to have a single sign-on across all the Access products. So if you're using Unleashed, Tradify, Prospect CRM, PayCircle, basically you'll be able to sign on to all products and use an AI tool that goes across all the data across all the products without going into each individual product. So it's quite a big step for them. PayCircle has also released payroll cloning, so you can test scenarios, which is going to be useful. And Mayday made a big announcement with their integration with Xero. They've basically rebuilt their back end to work with AI, so a lot of AI updates in this quarter. They've also expanded from Xero also to be able to integrate with QuickBooks now, which is great for those clients that weren't able to do it with Xero. The other app news is Mimo. They've been working on their mobile app, which I believe is coming very soon. So that's something to look forward to.
So I'm just going to talk through a few triggers around approvals that might warrant a conversation about whether a digital transformation is needed. So the first one is if your approval process is delayed. So if you're waiting on documents being approved, for example, purchase invoices, purchase orders, if there's a big delay between you sending them for approval and getting them back, it might warrant an approval tool that will help speed this up. If it's very email heavy, so if you're sending things back and forth over email, you've got no traceability there, things might get lost. Email's less secure than putting them on a specific approval platform. Another one is compliance requirements. So if your auditors have suggested that you need a clearer audit trail on approvals or some stricter controls, that's another trigger point to start considering some approval software. And then the final one is if you've not got an approval process at all, if it's non-existent, it's definitely worth considering whether you might need one, especially with growing businesses. You might have gone from a small business to a more sizable one, and the processes have not kept up with this. So yeah, definitely some food for thought there around approvals. A tool like Approval Max can make this a hell of a lot easier. It integrates with Xero or QuickBooks, so your approvals are sort of synchronized both ways between the platforms, and you've got a clear audit trail there and strict controls around who's approving what.
So we just wanted to announce our new service, which is our virtual finance office, a smarter way to run your finance function. If you are looking to take the stress out of running your finance function, then we are able to help. So this can be anything from finance manager up to finance director support, completely tailored to your business and delivered through our modern cloud systems. So if anyone has or needs any help with anything like that, then please just get in touch. Thank you.